why the Colts got some of the best picks in this draft, and why it changed my mind after watching some of these clips from Dan Patrick. Coming up on this episode.
1 for 3 on the way. Oh!
Hello, guys, and thank you once again for joining me on Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this Indiana Hoosiers and Colts community on here. So today, we're really just going to talk about two picks that I think, at first, many people, when I was watching Bring the Juice during the draft, and I'm going to tell you, what do you think after you watch this draft? Like, after I watched it one day for about 4 hours, I'm like, what am I even watching anymore? This is just too many. Oh, this guy's good at this. This guy's good at this. This guy's good at this. Like, we get it. I mean, Mel Kiper's out there. This guy's got it. This guy, we gonna pick this guy. All right, we get it. There are a lot of guys. At first, I saw a lot of backlash coming at Chris Ballard, and I want to play this clip in a little bit of what a guy from Pro Football Focus on Dan Patrick said, and that really changed my mind totally about the pick. But if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button down below. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being part of this Indiana Hoosiers and Colts community on here. Subscribe to the channel. I am in the process of starting a new job at Preferred Auto. So if you want to buy a car from me, come into Preferred Auto and ask for Aaron, because I will definitely help you out. I will help you solve your car problems. Come in. We will get this done together. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. It gets it out to more Colts fans. And just like the video, it really helps us out big time. I put a lot of work into these, and we all love the Colts. We all love what we see out there. So thank you so much for joining me on this channel. I can't really thank you enough for all the people and all the support I get on here. Leave your comments down below and tell me what you think of the picks. But let's just get right into the episode. And now that we got all that out of the way, oh, and I have a giveaway. I am giving away home field apparel or a Colts jersey. And at 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a piece of memorabilia. So do all of that good stuff, and you will be entered to win at 900 and then at 1,000. And we have giveaways on this channel. Now let's get into talking about the Indianapolis Colts. All right, so the Colts pick Latu, and initially I thought, edge? Why are they picking an edge? And I think that's what everybody thought. It's like, we just picked 2 edge rushers just a few years ago. So sitting here thinking, why are they getting these guys? But Latu was the best available at that pick. He was the #1 defensive player in this draft. And I know about the neck injury, and I know there are major concerns that people had, but of all the people, if there was any person at 15 that was going to be that high level talent, it was only going to be this guy, Latu. And let's just hear a clip from this guy on Dan Patrick, what he had to say. And after I saw this clip, it really, really changed my mind about Latu overall.
Best defensive player in the draft is
Latu from UCLA, the edge defender. If he did not have the neck fusion a couple years ago, the injury concerns, the medical retirement at Washington, I think this was clear as day. Latu is one of the best pass rushers we've seen since collecting data on college football since 2014. I think he should be the pick at 8 if Atlanta's going edge rusher over Dallas Turner from Alabama. So if Latu, it's another story I'll be keeping an eye on. If he falls to the mid-teens or even into the 20s because of the injury, it reminds me of Derwin James a few years ago, fell to 17 to the Chargers, and they got a top 5 player in the draft. That's what a team's getting, top 5 player in the draft if Latu falls to the teens. So could be a massive steal if the injury does pop up in the first round.
So you can see, how in Derwin James, he is one badass player, I'll tell you. And so when I heard that, comp to him, I thought, man, of all the guys on, the Chargers defense, he is one that really stands out as being the big hitter from that position. So Pro Football Focus ranked him that high on the defensive end, and to be that type of game changer if he fell in the teens, I feel like the Colts made just an absolutely great pick by getting this guy at 15. If he turns out to be that game changer that you really need, and now that I've watched more kind of film on this guy, I really, really think he's going to, I don't think he's ever going to be a bust, but he is definitely a guy that could hit that ceiling and be maybe that 10 out of 10 pass rusher that you need to really get after the quarterback, because we know that's been a problem. I mean, the Colts have had a lot of sacks in the past few years, but they really kind of do it by committee. And sometimes, you know, you really need that game-changing end. Look, if we didn't have Mathis, there's no way we come back and beat Kansas City in that epic playoff game with Andrew Luck. That whole game came down to Robert Mathis just made some standout plays, strip sacks, and what have you. And you can see how all of these NFL games are like really challenged by like a high-level pass rusher. I mean, Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl very much was affected by high-level pass rushers. And sometimes, like you could see even in that Super Bowl when it's like everybody's in one-on-one coverage, sometimes you just need man on man on man, and you need one guy to win. And when you can have that guy win off the edge, that can be all the difference for your team, because offensive coordinators, they can be very stubborn and they don't want to put an extra blocker up there. And when they got to really like rely on that left tackle to be the sole blocker in some of those instances, and that's when you get to that high level football, Latu is going to be that game changer. Can he be that kind of player? I mean, we'll find out. He's got like 3 years to prove it. And you know what? If he doesn't, I mean, I think Chris Ballard knows where he'll be headed if, you know, this draft ends up to be another bad one. Mitchell was the other player I really wanted to talk about, and I think Ballard, and everybody heard his comments where he went off on the media about how this guy, you know, just was kind of like downtrodden by the media. Hey, look, I mean, how many people, I'm going to tell you just from doing this, go back and watch my very first video on here. I am awful. I'm 41 years old and I was awful talking to the camera. So, I mean, in a way, from doing this, I look at this and I think, yeah, he's 21 years old and he's not that good at doing interviews. I mean, and a lot of the places said like they had a hard time getting just kind of a read on this guy. And I kind of watched his interview and I kind of thought the same thing, but I also thought, yeah, but like there are a lot of people that are that age that are just not going to be able to articulate all the words and be some great communicator on camera or to the media. Look, we see people like Mike Woodson is not that great at talking to the media. There are a lot of people out there, whether they're coaches or anybody else, that we could say, I mean, you could sit there and say, Mike Woodson sucks at talking to the media. He doesn't convey his information. If he was better at it, he would make his life a lot easier. There are so many different things you could think about something like that. So Mitchell, this guy could definitely hit a high watermark for the Colts. I think he's a starter right away and takes Alec Pierce's spot. I think this guy's going to get his opportunity right away. And I think he's really, really got something to prove. And if there are a lot of people out there, you know, if you're just an introverted type, silent type of guy, and there's a lot of people out there doubting you all the time, and you are that introverted, hard worker guy, which maybe that's what Adonai Mitchell really is. I mean, more power to him. Then he will come out and he will just be like the Marvin Harrison to this team, and it will be evident like that he's just going to kill it for the Colts. So that's all I really have to say about that. I just thought this guy was kind of like not given a fair shake. And after watching some of his highlights, I mean, this guy is really, really high level because he played at Georgia. Then he went to Texas, really had a great college career. And so if he fell down the draft board just because of some of these things, then, you know, and Chris Ballard maybe had a beat on him in a way that other people didn't. You know what? We got him in the second round. We didn't really waste a whole bunch on him. And I will make more videos later. Sorry, I have not just had enough time to really like go through all the things and make videos. So thank you so much for, you know, hanging with me there while I'm just kind of going through this time starting this new job. So I believe the Colts really rounding out to be one of the better teams coming into this next year. And I think with Richardson and with some of these other young players that I think Ballard kind of hit some of the right boxes that we needed to check. And I really think he's going to bring a free agent, maybe corner in. And that's something he's done in the past. That would be, if he could get a corner out of free agency, that might be a spot where, you do what you did with Gilmore a couple years ago, shore up that spot. The defense is a little bit better and you kind of feel good about the safeties that you have there. And that's all the Colts are going to need. And until next time, stay classy out there, Colts fans.
He's bound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we going to do what they say can't be done?
These days, I think cybersecurity is now as important as physical security. That's why when I'm online, I use NordVPN. NordVPN uses next generation encryption to keep my passwords and data safe, which is especially important when I'm traveling and I'm on public Wi-Fi, which is more vulnerable to hacking. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be traveling for the holidays this summer. Use NordVPN, one account that will protect all your devices and computers. And with their 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose.